Spirit was played by both teams, but man, if you watch Somnus play this hero, he does some amazing work. Like, every Remnant connects. His positioning's always perfect. Excuse me, what is this? Skywrath comes out for Ehome. I like it. Into the Ember Spirit. This isn't a hero we get to see very often, but with the Grimstroke, double Ancient Seal. Ancient Seal, of course, very nice into the Ember Spirit, who doesn't quite enjoy that. And you do now also, if you did want to go down the route of Rod of Atos, you do have someone who does kind of thrive on that island.
Yeah, it's quite potent for the Grimstroke, I think. Again, this is one of the only times you see that Sky is with either a Legion Commander or Grimstroke. So you've got the Grimstroke this time around, is really potent in that situation. Of course, up against the Embers, so the silence is excellent. You do have to worry about the squishiness of that Sky, so you're going to want to keep him protected.
10 seconds remaining.
Not going to want him to stand in front, have him be follow-up to catch that Ember off guard. Of course, you can kind of itemize around the Ember to counteract that. I believe a Yule should get the job done, at least purge off the silence, and Ember Spirits can still build into the Yules, so that should be a consideration there for LGD if it becomes an issue.
Right. I'm just very intrigued to see the Skywrath come out, though. It's just feels like it's been so long since Skywrath has been viable at all, and I suppose if one team was going to go down this kind of draft route, it probably would have been Ehome. Tend to run the
team pick
draft, I want to say. Still, bans come out. Ehome, they do end up going for the Terrorblade ban, and PSG.LGD will respond with the Faces Void. Just fair enough. If you don't want that Skywrath plus Void combination, and LGD, something different now with the Bristleback.
Yeah, you've got that Light Bristleback combination in play here for LGD. We all know how solid that is and reliable. It doesn't really get shoved out of its lane. If you play it, can really take over in whatever role you put it. You know, we've seen a lot of teams go to pos 1 Bristleback. I think that's a big possibility for LGD. You want something maybe a bit more space making and playmaking in the offlane in this case, just to give yourself a lot more setup, because Bristleback won't be giving you that. So maybe look to the offlane for something else, but Bristleback, Keeper of the Light, just very solid combination that we've seen a lot of teams really just maximize.
Dire team pick.
GD. Shadow Demon comes out. Nice pickup from their side of things. Great purge, great save, and overall great presence with this Shadow Demon pick. And I've got to say this, LGD very, very scary. It's like, how do you stop this global potential of the Coddle Bristle and even the Coddle Ember? It just
10
seems like it may be way too much for the side of Ehome to deal with.
5 seconds remaining.
And on the bright side, you get a lot of value from your stick. Bristleback and Shadow Demon would be spamming out a lot of spells, so you can get some burst regen. True, of course, that's probably not going to be enough to save you from the physical and magic damage coming out there.
Certainly not. But value is value. I give you that job. Ehome, 4th pick, they do go into the Morphling. Okay. So Ehome's kind of playing this for the later stage of the game. They are going to play the farming game, the more passive game up against the side of LGD. I don't have time with this Morphling. Like, you've got Morphling DK into Bristleback Ember.
They're going to have to...
Spirit Vessel Carrier in the Ember as well, John. Like, you've heroes that are very susceptible to being burst down thanks to a Spirit Vessel. It concerns me quite a lot for Ehome.
They're really going to have to try to win out in the lanes. We've seen what happens when a Bristleback doesn't hit its timing. So that's something for Ehome to really be cautious about and try to force out. The issue is, when you give a Bristleback a Keeper of the Light combination, it's very hard to shut down Bristle. You know, he has just way too much sustain, way too much presence with a chakra around from that Keeper of the Light to really apply himself. So he's still going to find his farm. Ehome's going to have to look really hard for a way to break that up. That's going to be the key thing for them. If the laning phase does go awry and LGD does get everything they want from Bristle, there's probably not going to be enough space here from LGD. I think they're going to be able to find the answers in the fights. I don't think they're going to have amazing push, which Ehome does have now. The DK and the Beastmaster will give them a lot of early push potential coming out, so that's one way they can balance out that early power spike from LGD. I like the Beastmaster pick here a lot in terms of that. Of course, you've got the double roar that can come out as well with the Grimstroke, as long as you get that soul bind off. So there's a lot of utility from that here now as well.
Beyond Beastmaster yesterday up against BG Gaming, and it wasn't looking great for Ehome in one of the games, but Faith Beyond the Beastmaster, just, you know how Faith Beyond does it. He just said, makes that space, allowing his cores to farm up, and his hero. We'll see if he can replicate this performance up against LGD, but it does give great confidence seeing that Beastmaster come out, definitely. LGD certainly need a way to... It's kind of like, do you want to just settle for trying to go for that early push, but you're kind of screwed over late game? Do you want to keep up, or do you want to change the draft up a little bit? I think you're kind of stuck into this early game style pushing lineup of PSG.LGD, and I understand they don't have the greatest push, but they need to snowball. They need to have that momentum throughout this game, and this last pick, I like it. The monkey picking comes out, and they're going to go all in on aggression.
Yeah, definitely lines up quite nicely. I think you have a lot of potential once you have level 6 on your Monkey and your Ember and the Keeper of the Light. That's going to be important. The levels for X-Nova has to come out fairly quickly. You want that Will-O-Wisp up and running as soon as possible to maximize your control in these fights. That's really all they have for control. Like, you have the stun from Somnus, you have the chains from the Ember Spirit, but to keep them in a place for a very long time, that big team fight control you need in the wide AoE, it's only really X-Nova's Keeper of Light for the Will-O-Wisp. So they will have to somehow give him a decent timing into the 6. I'd say you don't want it to be waiting out past 12 to 13 minutes. So if he's behind, probably prioritize him for the first book. Otherwise, LGD has some very strict timings here. They can't afford to really taper off too hard. Ehome has a lot of burst potential that can really eat through that Monkey King, and even the Ember Spirit is kind of susceptible to these stuns that Ehome has. So they really have to hit their stride here early on. Should be, again, very straightforward when you do have that Keeper for Light Bristleback. They're going to have to really make sure that combination works out well for them.
Time will tell what it does. We should be clean to the game very soon, and here we go. The beautiful X-Nova. The majestic Keeper of the Light. Q on this fire. This is one person I really want to watch out for in this game. A little difficult to understand what to expect from this man on this kind of hero. Of course, we do know in terms of laning stage, he's going to be very, very frustrating, just forcing out arcane bolts constantly. That concussive shot can deal quite a bit of damage, as well as a slow. If they did want to, John, they do have a very, very strong lineup for an aggressive tri-lane right now. Like, you've got 3 slows, essentially. Nobody's moving if Stroke of Fate, Concussive Shot, and the balls are hitting you. Might even try for First Blood now. None of the LGD are going to move forward onto this side.
30 seconds.
They're just going to allow them take the bottom bounty rooms. LGD will comfortably go ahead and take the top ones. Should be a fairly even start. No need to rush it if you are outside.
Yeah. Other side's really looking for that early aggressive start, I think, for the bounty rune specifically. With a Bristleback, you'd want to expend that in the lane, and I think this matchup is probably one of the better ones to mitigate the impact of a Bristleback. They do toss Sylar up top on Dragonite, so he has a lot more durability to last through those early levels of the quilts, so it's going to be much harder for LGD to shove that top lane out.
They are going to take Y up on the Grimstroke, so you're going to have him there to really ensure Silo remains safe throughout this laning stage. Not going to be the safest match for the Grimstroke either, but you just take what you get. Of course, FY is going to be there on the Shadow Demon to make sure Old 11 does remain safe on the Bristle. Y, stroke of fate for two of them. I suppose if you were going to expend a lot of mana with those cruel spirits, you may well do it now, while Sala doesn't really have any points in Dragon Blood up. Have that armor to walk him up. Y, quick disruption, just to ensure he gets the creep pull off. Old 11 will remind him not to go too far out the Grimstroke, as he is looking to punish with Cruel Spray. Are you getting lag, John? I'm getting a bit of lag in this game.
No, it's looking fine from Southeast Asia.
Okay, that's just me. That's great.
Yeah, how that line is sometimes.
Yeah. I'll reconnect if it keeps up, or if it gets any worse. Australia, China, not always the most stable connection.
I am a bit surprised they didn't go for the Keeper fight with. The Respecture level 1 keepers tend to go for that Blinding Light, just to dissuade any harassment. I suppose this does work out better for Chalice. He is getting a lot more from his lane play, as you can't really harass out the Ember when you can't hit him. So it is paying off there, but you are losing out in the potency of only 11's people. Like, Sylar is very chunky at top.
It's getting very low, and he's getting done quite a bit as Concussive Shot comes in, but look at the damage that Faith has to take. And Sleight of Fist is really continuously going to be on a very low cooldown at this rate. Come on, chat, we should have a look at the mid lane. Nothing to say is forced to be up against Somnus on the Monkey King. And Jing, who of course is quite easy to proc from the Morphling, especially considering he doesn't have wave form yet. Somnus is starting to overtake the lane quite a bit. 14, 5 for the Monkey. Comparison to the 8 and 2 on Morph.
I don't think they really expect this lane to work out for Ehome. I think they've just kind of accepted that they did have to shift it out. He's probably not going to have any better of a time against Bristleback, but this is the best they can do. Salvage that top lane and hope that Mistake can at least find a little bit of farm against this Monkey King. I have to say, GD has definitely set themselves up quite well with how they've run these lanes.
Coming out of FY Sylar, getting blocked up a bit. FY 3 Shadow Poison stacks. Should be able to find the 4th, and the 5th will basically guarantee the kill. But no, they will find it. FY does get first on the Shadow Demon. That will be Sylar going down.
So
maybe another aggressive move. In fact, never mind. Blinding Light did not sink you away.
Has been killed.
You've got a really early start up on Oldu now, so he basically has no mana issues, right? He's gonna be able to spam out the Cold Spray as much as he wants. You don't really have the options there yet from Ehome to kind of spam out their own Breed Fire as much on the Dragon yet. That's going to be a massive opening for LGD to kind of take over this lane, and that's exactly what they need. They need to really get their Brittle up and running super quick. They set themselves up to get that done in a fairly good manner for themselves.
Just getting every mastery he can ask for, enough to say getting very low. Somnus not able to finish off the job, but find this, like nothing to say is just nothing out of this mid lane. Well, currently Somnus is about to double the last hits of the Morphling. And I mean, in terms of XP, Somnus is going to be full level ahead for now. Say all he can really do is just try and soak XP and aim those CDS through his strike, but that really isn't the most efficient way you could ask for. Now just force Adaptive Strike again to avoid another Jingu Mastery problem.
This is is really going to be a slow start, I can say. I'm not sure what they expect timing to be like. Somnus is really just going to shut him out here. He can kind of play in the jungle, but he's nowhere near more advanced just yet. So staying in that jungle is going to be a bit tricky.
Say they're going to have to jump now. FY has rotated on the Shadow Demon, and he's got available still, so all he can do is strength more. Still, Shadow Poison's being stacked up. FY just standing around for some reason, but he gets 4 stacks. That's going to be enough, and he claims another kill as Y will run in with the Ink Swap, but doesn't really connect. Does get the Stroke of Fate with the concussive shot, but can get in range for the Arcane Bolts, and Q still trying for it. I don't believe 1 will be enough. FY will be perfectly fine. Be a 2-0 for LGD for now. They just look great. Every lane has been won by LGD at this point. Like, Ehome are finding nothing.
Yeah, they've really worked their lane matchups quite well. Even with the shift out from Ehome, it's not quite enough to mitigate that disadvantage. Yeah, nothing to say on the Muffling is doing better than he would against a Bristleback, but it's not much better. It's still pretty dismal here for Ehome. They're gonna have to try to buy some time for this Muffling to really play catch. And we have seen what happens when your timings are off as the Morph. As long as LGD maintains that aggression and maintains some vision in that jungle, the space is going to be very hard to find there.
FY, another rotation here onto Q. They get the different range. You know, another thing is long this bot lane, like, you look over to that Ember, and with this constant slight fist spam that's coming out, he's finding so many of these balls for Faith BR. They give a lot of XP and a fair bit of gold. Chalice, more and more farm. As time goes on, basically been soloing this lane for a while now. He's still only on level with Chalice, like they are really just on par with each other. It goes to show Chalice has been finding quite a few of those balls.
I mean, he's actually prioritizing the boards over getting harassment damage on Fate Beyond. Like, he doesn't care about Fate Beyond staying in lane. He wants to eat his creeps. In fact, I think he wants Fate Beyond in lane so he can find additional farm.
That's free gold. Why not? Just keep him here. In fact, they'll go now. Blinding Light knocked back on Faith Beyond, but Remnants are up from Chalice. Faith, he's about to hit that level 6 mark, so he could roll to it, creep to die, and he finally does get it. He may have to commit though, no. Remnants away from Chalice, and now Mana strikes Somnus with a great rotation. Sylar, he may be a sitting duck, but there's no mana left on Chalice. They got the kill they wanted. I think you're going to be happy with that if you are LGD.
Definitely. They got the hero to really back off. It looked like he could have turned Roar. Unfortunately, the Ember Spirit is a bit slippery, and Somnus was right in time before anything could be done. So again, LGD just setting the pace of the game, really dictating the engagements, finding all kills they want all over the map, and they are just finding a lot more in this lane phase. Ehome, they're 2k behind already at 8.5 minutes. They've got a lot of ground to still cover. They have switched lanes. Sylar is going to be playing in that bot lane now as a DK. It just feels like this response is a bit late at this point. Fate Beyond can be up against Bristleback. I think he's gonna enjoy those boards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They all stacked up. Old Lemon has got so many stacks in this jungle, and he's going to take all of them right now. This is going to be a lot of gold for Old Lemon. Like, 6 gold before he started, and we'll see how much he ends up with. We can't forget in that recent patch, the creep soul bounties got buffed though. Nice stroke of fate from Wiley. I'm gonna try and contest. Huge if they can take quite a few creeps off. So they did get a fair few. I believe they made a big creep or two of old 11 there, so great rotation there from Ehome. They stick around. He doesn't want to allow this. So you know, that's how big old 11's going to get. He does. He is allowed to do this. Can they stop it? Not really. F9's going to be there to protect. Meanwhile, while you're trying to contest that, Y is going down to the bot lane as Chalice. He's going to move in, claim an easy kill, and now Silo, I mean, he's just standing there as the DK thing. What can I do? I can't do anything. I'm a Dragon Knight.
Yeah, this is rough for you mainly because they've got level 6 on Skylar, but they can't pressure a tower. They can't have him play a much more active role in forcing out a lane, getting an objective for the team, because he has to buy space for the other heroes in Ehome. So he's buying space for Sensei, he's buying space for Fate/Beyond, and that means he's just staying in a lane that he can't possibly find objectives in.
You still have a very nice late game kind of lineup, but you know, another one of those problems is, you know, we talked about the balls going down for DPL. Taking down the balls again, though. Raw now does come out. Will-O-Wisp coming out from X-Nova to try and protect an old 11. Looks to turn a Somnus. A great rotation on the Monkey King. Fate/Beyond's going to be poured out here. And what I was trying to say is, not only do you have balls to take off the Beastmaster now, but he has the helm of the Dominator. So, Old found that Dominator creep gets added 200 on top of all the balls he's been finding. And now they find a hero and a T1 power up top lane.
They're just really clearing out the map right now. 5k advantage for LGD. You see Ehome trying to push out that bot lane. Sylar is getting some chip damage onto this tier 1. It doesn't feel fast enough. He doesn't have anyone really backing him up. He has Y, but you'd want the Snaz Fate/Beyond to contribute some damage with his creeps as well. Not quite ready, as he did extend Aurora's presence is just kind of asking for trouble instead.
Sylar barely misses out the dragon on the Ember. That may have set up a great kill for Sylar had he connected, but great jukes coming out from Chalice.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Speaking of Chalice, he's very close to that Spirit Vessel now. That's when this DK and Morphling really aren't as tanky as you would hope. Speaking of that, Morphling, nothing to say. Gonna get some goose stacks on him by all 11. They will not have the potential to lock him down, so they'll just leave him be. But the LGD are seemingly looking to try and set up with this T1 mid tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, why not? There's no response from Ehome. They do still open Fate/Beyond and Sin Q. Maybe they want to pick off.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Raw gonna be there. They did end up finding Somnus, and now they pick down the tree. Somnus has no way out of it. And that is the strength of having vision from these hooks that Fate/Beyond can throw out. You, of course, has plenty of magic damage follow-up. That's a big deal. But you are still having this problem where Old Left is just freely pushing mid T1 and nothing's still really anything to stop it.
There's just nothing to threaten this Bristleback at this point. They've given him the good start he's looking for. Sylar
Coming in, pops already gets the Dragon Tail off, but his back has to turn. Will-O-Wisp now will be very nice from X-Nova, catching 4 heroes, and if Y with the disruption looking to turn. Somnus comes in with a great boundless strike. They do essentially take it, I'm not to say. Soulbind will come out as well with a double silence. It doesn't matter. You've got Chalice there now. Sylar, he just melts. Old left the back a little bit. You bounce the Morphling, nothing to say. Gets his tree chopped down, and FY has a double kill on the Shadow Demon.
Just so much going wrong there for Ehome. I think morphing into the Monkey King and jumping up in the trees right in vision, just asking for trouble there from Ehome. Gets punched hard. They're not done.
Yeah, he finds the chains. He knows how aggressive they can be, and he picks up another nice kill.
Dire's middle tower,
you know, with that
fallen.
Mid T1 and top T1 going down, that opens up the jungle for LGD. Ehome, the map gets a lot smaller. You've got these kind of that really want to farm up the jungle and the lane. This becomes a very dangerous predicament for Ehome.
It really does. A lot of heroes, as you mentioned, focusing on that jungle. Fate/Beyond's already in there. Nothing to say. We'll have to maybe slip him. He is set for it. He does have his Morbid Mask. That's a lot of jungle space that has to be shared by 2 really farm-heavy heroes. Like Fate/Beyond, still saving up for his Vlads. That's a bit ways off, and I can say, of course, just working for that shot and the E-Blade, and it is way off. You've got to get time for these heroes. I think Fate/Beyond could be online a bit faster, but nothing to say really needs space right now, and can't afford to share too much of it away.
many waters rise.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I like the build up as well from Oli Long. He's working straight into a Lotus Orb. In fact, a fight.
Yeah, they're gonna get started, and they found why. Old 11. Who's playing out? There's gonna be a TP. Does he have the damage? Think Q? Ooh, it's hell. Bulls will form there in time, making the mid lane. The whistle submitted. Looks like it was onto nothing to say, but he does manage to waveform out there in time. So instead, they will chase Faith Beyond. No, never mind Faith Beyond. They want the Bulls, and they go.
They're getting a lot of gold from all of those creep kills bleeding out, and that's one of the things with Beastmaster. If you're not careful, if the enemy team is set up, you can be a bit of a gold drain that is just pouring into the enemy team, and LGD is very much maximizing that. Going back to my previous point, the early Lotus Orb for Old 11, that's going to allow them to basically cancel out that great silence they have. It's going to give a lot more leeway for a Chalice to dip in and out.
Old 11, Flair flying out as well, but he is so tanky with that Defiance, and now X4 would lead connect with the double Soulbind and double Silence. To be enough. No, Chalice just it's forward. Who does he want to go for? He gets synced with the chains. He needs help. Old 11 does start running in, but it looks like they won't really have enough lockdown quite yet. They do prove a very hard point for Ehome that no matter how much you throw at this Bristleback right now, he's not dying. And while that's been happening, Thomas looks to push the bot tier 1, and he does find it. So that's all tier 1 now going down for Ehome.
Yeah, they've got all the control on the map. They can basically just play in these in any single jungle area, which means Ehome is going to be very cautious with how they rotate. Nothing to say. For the most part, he's doing fine. They've got decent coverage, and of course they've got the Hawks to play with, but the map is shrinking here for Ehome. The network advantage heavily on LGD side, 9k, 17 minutes in. A really big lead for LGD as they set up on this mid-tier 2.
Yeah, easily. Like, they're gonna back off for a bit. They did spot out Faith and Sync in the jungles. Old 11 doesn't want to allow any kind of button to go on. You apply the pressure. You especially want to try and avoid that ethereal blade being completed on the Morphling. What's the game plan here? They smoked up. Tyler has the Shadow Blade, so he'll be okay. I don't think they'll hit him out. Yeah, he'll be right.
Just a bit of a time bot there for Ehome. Gets a little bit more space to farm up. And that they will. Like, slowly building up. You already have the Ghost Scepter up on Nothing to Say. Has about 1,400 gold left for the Eagle Song. So it's actually not too far behind. He should be able to hit it at a relatively decent timing considering his laning status. And that might catch LGD by surprise. They haven't really hunted down that morph in the past few minutes.
Radiant's bottom tower
sitting at that top tier 2 tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looks like they're just gonna ignore it. They understand they can't defend. They are trying to set up for a tier 2 tower push. Anywhere near as close. In fact, they aren't even gonna get started by the sounds of it as they glyph up tier 2. LGD have this weird decision to make. Do we want to go for a B03 push? Or do we want to defend that bottom tier 2? Because they have. They are going to go back down bottom. Disruption is there on Sylar. FY is the but now the TPs do start coming in, and Sylar, he gets caught by the champion. No TP for you, Mr. DK. Dallas, can he find somebody else? He has remnants, he just needs vision. Things come out onto Sync-Q. Sync-Q going to the east side. Does not spot him out. But Bounty runes are up. We'll just stick around for those instead. And now they do see Sin-Q. He's around. They give the go ahead, Charles. The robot with the agency and Square, it's a lot of damage, but they got the disruption and Willow was in time. And now it looks like Charles is willing to try and turn this one around. And Fate Beyond is going to go down as well as Skyrath made. In fact, never mind, the Skyrath did manage to get out. But Fate.
Yeah, that's match to force out the ult usage as well. Now it's not too long of cooldown for Fate, but they're not able to find the kills even if they get their combo off. It is a bit of a worrying time, and you didn't even have the bristle back around there, so you didn't have that Lotus Orb in play. This is going to allow LGD to walk into the Roche pit, and it's the fastest Roche, but it should be steady enough. Ehome, they're gonna have to really be aware of this when they are smoked up. Should check that pit.
But do you really want to fight right now until LGD? Is that enough? Go in. If they just be massive, and now Wukong's command comes out on the strike, and they're cooking Aegis up in Somnus. Sin-Q gets bursted at bleeding. Now the Imperial Blade does a lot of damage to Somnus, and he run away. It doesn't really matter anyway. He's got the Aegis, and they don't even get that. Somnus is going to be perfectly fine thanks to their fly. Just back to farming for him.
They tried to burst down Somnus. I believe that was the target for, let's say, shotgun. Not enough damage. Just the level advantage that the Monkey King did have there was enough. It was level 15. I believe the damage being by let's say at that point. He was at level 13, so slightly less stats and slightly more for the Monkey King to pad himself out was enough to keep him on the edge, making that E-Blade reveal less than ideal. They didn't really find targets, they lost their swords. Not the best in the world. Ehome's gonna have to be a bit more cautious now as well. They kind of revealed their trump card, and this will allow LGD to smoke up.
Right.
Behold, a subtle burn.
Oh, no. He knows he's being chased down right now by Somnus. Somnus looks a little bit like Hobson as he jumps through the tree line, but he gets answer. Now Chalice comes in, a ground will over, forcing White back into it. Nothing to say, all he can do is strength more, but there is no help coming. FY cancels the TP of White. Well, and it's 2 more kills to the side of LGD. Ehome. They're still trying their absolute best. They at least find the courier of Old 11, so Assange will be denied from the bristleback. That was half the completion, but I think he's really gonna mind too much. He's doesn't really seem like he needs it right now anyway.
It would have been nice to win at these fights much easier, but it's not necessary. As you mentioned, they're already fairly ahead here for LGD. The damage is just not flying out from Ehome fast enough. They haven't been able to take any fights as 5 as well. The past few fights have been a scattered set of skirmishes for Ehome, whereas LGD have been sticking fairly consistently as 5. They bring all their heroes down, catch Ehome split up in groups of 3 or 2, and clean up. The Ehome needs to try to play around saying that he has a damage out. It's just their offense to split up their forces, slow farm up, and their efficiency on that. You see Fate Beyond, he's pushing that tier 2 up top. It's just not fast enough.
They'll get nothing. GG branches being placed, in fact, multiple being placed. Good. He does have extra in there. So bot lane Sylar, gonna be KBT out of there. He will be okay, but I can't say the same for Fate Beyond. Has been cut again by Thanos. He commits raw, it will be to no good. That was a double raw, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't have anything to follow up with.
Oh man, and why? Sticking around.
It is being easy and more Somnus. Ghost are going to be there from wide to slow it a little bit. Avoid the Inkswell. Another strike will be there. And on 11. Oh, Brash is nice. I believe that was actually the Grimstrokes. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Hot vision, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. It's a good attempt in the end. LGD away with the game, right? This isn't nowhere near close. It's 17-1 in 5 minutes, and 11k advantage for LGD. Now, because LGD has so many kills under their belt, there is a lot of potential if you actually do find one or two of these big heroes. So you want to try to get a kill on 11, but it's just such a big target now.
Getting jumped. You thought you could get an easy kill on Edge. That was not the case, and that was BKB and Shadowblade committed underneath the sentry. That will bring his BKB to 8 seconds, and what's been defensive uses of the B so far. Really not the way the DK wants to have to use it. Getting closer and closer now to being able to go up that ground. Poor old Y had to get away from old 11. He goes after a base, but Lotus Orb comes out. Nothing really affected his bristleback. They get silences off, but he just doesn't care.
Yeah, he's doing this push by himself for the most part. He found that kill by himself inside base. They fortify that should stave off part of the push, but Aegis expires as well.
I don't know if it got fortified. Was it really necessary? Like, you're going to lose this mid-brass anyway, right?
Middle tower.
Probably not. Definitely not, because they just don't have a way of getting into these fights. You can't personally love them down. You need to finish the back line. You have no way of jumping back. Okay.
That's all you can do. Like, hope that he connect with another person. Soulbind and, you know, maybe be able to capitalize with a double roar. Look at old 11 again. Just moving forward, Alice does find the shades. Old 11 gonna go back. Faith, he'd love to get a raw target, but one of the targets he can actually kill are really showing up.
His top tower is under attack.
He does have a 10-set BKB chance. He's master, so he does have big levels. But there's nothing to say. When he moves away just in the nick of time, to check out there for Alice, and he looks to blow off this ball. Really goes for Somber sticks around. Raw comes up, it's all too late. They need it back off to the target. Suttles the trump man, find with his BKB. Suttles does not find a BKB at all. They find him up the same. So it looks like maybe they might have let them know. He survives through all the damage they throw him. And there's the GG. They've had enough. And they pull off very, very easy and dominant victory for themselves. 22-1 in the kill score.
Yeah, really clean execution coming out from LGD. A really solid, straightforward draft. You know, there were no surprises in this draft. You saw the Keeper Flight, Bristleback wasn't banned out, they pick it up. They had the Ember Spirit, they closed out with the Monkey King. I don't think Ehome had the answer in their draft. Like, they were feeling confident with that Skywrath Mage to give them to do all the work for them. It wasn't.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Monster kill! Godlike!
Radiant's
Double
Ancient is
kill!
under attack.
Holy shit!
Triple kill! Holy shit!
Ultra kill!
Dire victory. Dire team pick. It's your turn to ban. Dire team pick.
Takis!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Bounty Hunter.
Ten seconds remaining.
Sniper.
Your turn to...
Oracle.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Dusk.
Your turn to pick.
I speak for the trees.
Bad Rider.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Lone Druid.
Phantom Assassin.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Slog.
It's in the bag.
Prepare for battle.
Death at my hands is an honor.
This one's in the bag.
When I say a thing, you know it's true. So I'm calling it right here and now. This one's in the bag.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Not your destiny.
Blood!
First blood! Start with a bang! Ah, my old self.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
So much for peaceful applications.
Thanks.
Whee!
spree!
The seeds of fortune.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'll take that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I know I can trust you guys. Illusion.
Warriors of the wood.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Timber.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Got it.
Invisibility! Explosions!
Explosions! Radiant's top tower is under attack. Bottom tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Under attack.
Blame us!
Radiant's carrier has been killed.
Killing spree!
PSG.LGD's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
East and Nutrient, but beyond that, they're gonna have to expose one of their ults to lock that storm in. So you could zip in and out fine if you want to go for that option. I don't think it would line up too well. It can be farm intensive, and you already have the Terrorblade. You'd want something that kind of comes online instead. Maybe Dragon Knight would give them some push. That's something that can play with a Terrorblade nicely. So it's an option for them. Of course, that's pretty good way to burn through those Beastmaster creeps as well, if you want to go that route.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Zeus.
That's a solid way to melt through the Terrorblade. Can't disagree with that. You've got great damage in the Ember and Zeus. I do worry about playing against Nyx. Of course, it's just very easy to get the control of the Zeus in this case as a Nyx. Very easy to get that burst damage onto that hero. Then again, the Zeus has decent ways of tracking the Nyx once the Vendetta's up as well. So it's a bit of back and forth, but LGD close out with the Invoker. Yeah, I think it's a solid way to close out this draft. You will have to worry about perhaps early rotations from Ehome. That's one way to really punish that Invoker at level 1 to 3. He's vulnerable to basically just any support walking up and stunning him, so gotta watch out for that. That is one way for Ehome to win that matchup, but once you ride through that early phase, by the time you hit level 4, you should be able to sustain yourself there, and Somnus should be able to. It would be great to see. I think the Invoker does line up with the timings on every other hero on LGD. It can buff up the Terrorblade as well if you want to go for the Alacrity later on, but just looking at the time you need to buy for that Terrorblade, Invoker can join these fights very early on. And all the heroes on LGD really just need the XP. I guess the Pang is probably the one hero that would need the most farm out of them. Even then, it's not that much farm. It can be very effective by just putting all their eggs into that Terrorblade, and that is going to be the biggest target for Ehome. Just try to make sure the Terrorblade doesn't get that X.
Prepare for battle.
Once the sentries fly out, of course, they should still give them a little bit more forward control, and makes nothing to think twice about playing around that area. Instead, opts to rotate on the other side, still has his ward. Try to likely oh yeah, I mean, you can't damage your ward. I guess, yeah, they take away the gold preemptively, so White does waste the sentry. That's one way to bait them in. No, I think that was there before, but I'm not sure if he was hitting it. I think he was just hitting it. Again, I can't verify, but I've done it a couple of times in my as well. It's a bit surprised, but yeah, you can damage your own wards. It's just a constant nuisance for Chalice copying the hits from some Q. It's just steady harass you can expect to Zeus, of course. Once he does run out of mana, it's gonna slow down just a touch. Let's have a clarity, but we'll probably look to try to cancel that later on.
Stay out.
Yeah, really deep pull here from FY. Just to give himself some EXP, of course. Make the lane a bit harder for Solar, so not really having any creep for himself, but you are getting some good EXP here on the off lane of LGD. Yeah. Trying to disrupt Stellar, even that it's not enough to dissuade him. Still number one in the last hits. Back all of Ehome's heroes doing relatively well in their lane far in the first 2 minutes. You're still finding the farm they want, and LGD are not shining as expected. And this is under weak. Ehome is maximizing this turn quite nicely.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And this distraction does cost Chalice. Focus on creep wave. His wave coming in. Beyond can manipulate quite well, and we'll keep him up there in the last hits for once more. He's having a grand old time, 8-5. Looking from LGD for a really slow down. Just yet.
Double damage.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Oh, Chalice. Yeah, I like the effort here. I like the earlier game aggression from Ehome. It is paying off. Like, they're not finding kills. We haven't seen yet, but the farming is definitely disrupted. LGD's farming pace is not keeping up with Ehome's right now. It is still fairly early on, but Ehome has a solid 2k lead, sub 10 minutes in. That's a really good start for them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Still, not as swift as the speed of my thoughts.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
So
is
Radiant's courier has been killed.
The lost was me.
Mine by right, as well as by might.
they managed to finally find just a bit greedy if I played it from Somnus, thinking it was safe and gets punished for it. Nice little pickup for Ehome. Of course, that does give nothing to say. A lot more space down mid to kind of try to even out that last hit. The only lane where LGD was kind of eking out the lead was this mid. Somnus with that kind of equalizes that for Ehome.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
No. Not. It's the key thing for LG is keep Charlotte safe, so they're gonna have to keep him in the jungle. Everyone else is gonna have to cop. It's fine. Like their lineup really just needs to be exposed. They're looking for Phoenix 6, look for the Nyx 6 as well, and be a little more on your angle. That's probably the tool to ask for. Otherwise, I think once these tools are up, LG will try to buy that space. Just drag the enemies away from wherever he's stopping and rotations out. Point out as well, like Fake did go for the early Necrobook over the Dominator. You're seeing the same thing with CQ on the Zeus, actually opting for the Necros early. But they do look to want to shut this map down very quick, although it's infused.
I'm your god too.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
These foes before we start.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh. What?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Never refuse gold given.
Oh. Lord mid-spin. Not able to secure that room for himself. Very unfortunate. I mean, he committed the ult for that. Doesn't get it. So, ult for an ult. I don't think you're too upset for your That's going to give you even more of a edge here, as they do increase their lead 4K at 10 minutes. Really big lead. Point. Oh.
And gold are linked.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. He queued up where you're on. You saw you unrush the Viper ones before the Dominator in queue does is one now as well. They're just looking to shut down this map. But all the Suns don't really have the greatest wave. I mean, you're gonna have to depend on only 11 to clear this up, and I suppose Invoker can work, though quite at that point, but you can kind of step down. But the potential for Ehome's push really just skyrockets with this kind of investment in the itemization.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
In the end, this is some space for Chalice. He's getting some free farm. The focus for Ehome is trying to counteract the movement of LGD. So you're not quite finding the occasion to punish Chalice, and this is going to allow him to get some decent farm. I believe that's his Yasha flying in, working towards a very fast DK next to mitigate some of that damage from the and Zeus, not to stop him from getting stunned up by Fate Beyond, but as long as LGD constantly force Fate to roar only 11, that's probably not going to be a factor.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, they managed to get the tier 1 mid. So they do get that key target, which will open up this jungle area for LGD. I don't think you're going to be too upset with tier 1 top. You are kind of thrown off by losing your troll. So that is a big kill there, and it
Haste!
roll for that on Nyx. No. Yeah, he's been saving up for that one since the Yasha. So he's just going to go straight to the BKB to mitigate the damage of the Zeus and the Ember. Of course, he's still going to be putting target for Roar, but Flytomoon has been forced to use that Pangolian for the most part. So it's some space for him to still get a lot of value at KB. You're going to have to bait out the Roar use first, and then Childs can come in. Not worry about the magic damage, will pour out. There's no one really in the team to build into a pipe or anything like that, so a straight BKB is the only thing you can rely on for Childs to survive. I think it's down to how active he's been on the map. He's been all over with his Phoenix, with Nyx, Pang. We're trying to find the kills and movements. He understands that he has to set that pace. He has to buy the time for the Terrorblade. So he's caught the short end of the stick for Chalice, which is perfectly fine. Like, he's still making work happen. And once that vessels out, I think he's going to be able to do what he needs to do with just the items he has on hand.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
Cool.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's just, it's tricky for them to get these fights started under Pangolier's gone. That was great for early 11 to spend 2 ults for his life. Just back up from LGD where it was late with rotations and take.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. You don't have anything like or on LGD's side to ensure that BKB is mitigated. So there's not much for LGD to play around that pickup from say. And as you mentioned, his pace is pretty darn good in it. Like, he's just lacking really the gold or the additional grass at this point. Just got a lot of information to work with. Unlike LGD, they just don't really have as much telling them what to do with the map. And that is just going to allow Ehome to hit the pace of this game. They're at 7-game advantage, 21 minutes in for free. You have the BKB up in Chalice. I think that's enough. I think he realizes that as well. He's trying to farm up towards that. God, you're going to be a lot comfier, but that's still a slow build-up for our Terror.
A little something extra for the effort. Precious bounty.
Oh. They understand with the Terrorblade how the draft Ehome shaped up and capturing Terrorblade. They need to.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm surprised they were forcing that fight out. If they lost FY, I think they could have just backed out and said they were just going to fight in FY, fight back to try to join that fight once more. And that does widen the gap to about 8-7k for Ehome. I'm not sure what LG was expecting to defend the BKB on. Chalice was under pressure there. You saw a lot of F saves on this. A lot of Sun was blown, the egg was blown just to save the Invoker. And that's not how they were expecting that to work out. This will give Ehome all the space they need to take the Roche. There are no tools from LG to stop.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh no.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Population.
Yeah, that's gonna give them a lot of control. You have a lot more leeway for Chalice to play his farm game. He has access to that Radiant Jungle if he wants it. That's gonna be key as still slowly working into that sky. Still 2 parts away. Does have the ultimate orb up, but they're really putting all their eggs onto this one bat, which is the Terrorblade. They're depending on shots to just take over the game, and Terrorblades can do that. I just think the deficit is growing worryingly. You see a BKB flying out now for Sylar. You don't have control for the Terrorblade. For the Troll, you don't have control for the Anchor as well. In fact, I think Say hasn't even popped his inside BKB. He's just been able to go in and out as he pleases so far. So these things coming out for Ehome are to make it a lot harder for LGD to find that opportunity, but a couple of things coming out from LGD as well. You've got the Meteor Hammer on FY, so he can do some damage on the towers if you leave it alone. and he can follow up with his Impale if you can. So a lot more potential there for LGD with that pickup, but they're going to have to do it before BKBs are blown. Oh, summons.
Die with me.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Dominating! Life.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Régénération.
A fitting bounty.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Fear not your death. Wicked sick! Spree! Ownage! Dominating! Double kill!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And it's off!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Can't escape your sins.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Come back! Killing spree!
Fancy beating you here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
For you.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, that's nice. Hand of God.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
What's the opposite of regicide?
Dominating! Invisibility.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
PSG.LGD's turn to ban.
Directly every single time. The Embers are pretty potent target to go for as well. You don't have any way of guaranteeing yourself here for LG, so no shallow grave on their side, no false promises coming out, but you don't have the same thing for Ehome. No snowball saves, no shallow graves in their end. So it is a bit of a freer LC match in that sense. There's nothing stopping a full duel from really succeeding here, but you have to choose your targets carefully, as there is some damage here.
Certainly is. I'll pick 10 seconds reserve time for this, by the way. See, we saw the Husker and Lycan bands.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Gonna go for a bit of a deeper thing. explain this landing stage for LGD with these kind of hero pickups as well. And okay, the Bloodseeker comes up. It definitely looks like a support puck. There's potential for support offer, but I highly doubt. It does look like it should either be. Do you put the Bloodseeker safe or do you just put him mid?
That's a tough one. I think I'd prefer it to be safe, just because of how much farm you can really get, and the matchup against Ember can be a bit of a toss-up. Ember does have a little bit more control. Bloodseeker does have damage, but added control match damage on the Ember can make it a bit hard for the Bloodseeker to sit there. You really need the presence of a laning support to either zone or help him secure kills. Stuff like that. The Bloodseeker is definitely, in this case, more than likely going to be safe. The DP matchup for the Ember is a bit better for LGD. You do get a little bit more there, or again, the potential of the puck come in instead of the deep support, but that is probably greedier of a support than you'd want. So it does look like the puck is going to be on our support, and I reckon Steam it. Probably Bloodseeker safe. It works with Pangolier, especially once you hit 6. So you can play around that.
A hard decision to make for this final pickup now. It's just such a possible lineup for LGD. Ehome not so much with their own. Gonna have a long thing about this one. It does still. We're looking for the Faith Beyond hero. I just don't see him playing Pango very often. It just doesn't really remind you of Faith Beyond when you see that Pangolier come out. We have seen you play quite a few times in 4 role though, so that wouldn't be surprising whatsoever. Coming out into a Bloodseeker, it doesn't feel nice.
Yeah, it's risky going for that clock into blood. The potential for trapping is pretty big. Go to Visage. Yeah, this is not something you see too often, but it can be highly effective. Give a lot of great push, a lot of good damage, and decent laning control that, if you're not careful, Ehome can definitely punish you for overstepping.
Yeah, it's funny as well, because LGD, I believe it was, did go for the second ban. Could have been, but the Lycan was taken out, and now you've got this other kind of hero that can really set up a crazy amount of push from level 6. I wonder, with this kind of build as well, do you go for a similar style as that Beastmaster? Do you go for the Dominator, maybe a network? Like, what would be stopping you from doing that as a Visage? Personally, John, I'm a Visage player. I have no clue what to expect. We don't see it enough to really know what the item build should be. But it wouldn't surprise me if they went a very similar style build as Beastmaster does.
I think 2 years play like too much as you expect. I actually think, at least before, it's been a while since Visage was taking the center stage. I think the build up used to be Killer Crest, just added minus R, going for the really stupid damage on your birds and trying to bring heroes down. There are some pretty potent targets here for the Visage to really run down as well. That's something that you can build up to. I don't think Necro is amazing Visage, but the way the game's changed, it could be something viable. I'm not entirely sure, because everyone that plays it just died out. They just stopped. Like top 100 players. I don't really have info anymore.
You have brought back some memories though of that solo prep build that we used to see. I do now remember that what this always went. I disagree on that. I think it might be a really nice pick. Time will tell. It is Faith Beyond our, so you have to be, you can't too much, because he always proving it wrong somehow.
Yeah.
With this kind of item build and the way he plays the game. He's very unique in that whole process. He doesn't really necessarily follow a standard item build or meta. Yeah, he tends to do his own kind of thing. Like, even now, he's gone for the level 1 soul assumption. So, you used to seeing Brave chill level 1. I guess that sort of indicates they're looking for a first threat off the bat.
There's a lot of opponents with Briss that have assumption level 1. I've had a lot of discussions as well. Towards playing Visage, my friend actually did prefer Soul Assumption just because of the lane distance. Like, you pop that Grave, all you can really do is trade clicks during that second window. So you're using move speed rain and a bit more attack to create hits for 6 seconds. And that's it. It can be cooldown for into the man as well. Soul Assumption's a good amount of burst. Just a little bit more value in that early game. At least a little one.
Key to note as well, it's going to be that mid DP. So I'm going to put Chalice on Bloodseeker up at the same flame. We are going to see F1 in the position 4 pump. Or 11. Going to be on that LC, not surprising there.
Begins.
And LGD not going to give any kind of opportunity for the very, very early first blood potential. But Ehome, they're going to stick around, start moving their way top as 3. And I definitely believe you 100% want to try and go for it. But no, why is it going to TPI? It's not going to waste any time. I guess you still do have some crazy amount of wrath potential that's all assumption without going for first blood anyway.
It's still pretty potent, especially with Sin Q. If he gets the right swashbuckle, you can flip the charges fairly quick. It can give easy access to damage for as needed.
That's right. Anyway, that's definitely damage from that first old section of the Chalice. But maybe the Chalice, he does have a lot of regen already backed away. You're gonna try to just keep X off this Visage. But you do see a couple levels in that Grand King's Cloak. I've always found that very, very annoying ability, that Grand King's Cloak. Like, it just seems like he makes this hero the tankiest hero in the world of Dota 2. Like, it just never seems to die until you get through the layers of the Visage.
The one tricky things about landing against this is really trying to balance out your harassment. So sometimes if you're not careful, he's gonna have to stack recuperate top if you get and still alive long to launch what?
First blood! My taste grows by one. Denied! You have been denied.
Claim your blood.
Dire structures are fortified.
Fearing heat. You have learned well.
I am a dead devil, Terry.
New followers. Curse your bright cabal.
Ah!
Your hands.
Go, my sweet sisters, go!
Radiant structures are fortified.
My fire is quenched.
Denied. You were my target all along.
Trust me, I know how to handle such power. Invisibility!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Good assassins never die.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
A thing or two. I guess not.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been killed.
Amazing what you found lying around.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Death's bounty.
Rune of haste.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is falling. Dire's top tower.
From Faith Beyond, all the control you want, all the damage you want, that setup for the Grim Stroke is just really obnoxious.
激动的时候，然后还是有点勉强的。
Dire's structures are fortified.
刚刚有大都没打过，没大招不是随便打。他们现在只要是死灵龙套上个墨勇，好像就没人能处理。
对，晕的人一定能晕到。
对的。
除非说毒狗关躲一下晕。
但是位置就
but Ehome can be extremely happy with that. Of course, we have Ehome the Dominator up in Fate, so you are seeing a lot more on those Symbirs than you expect.
Absolutely. The team still going to have the Sage, and we've seen rotation coming in. The foil is there, but I think that's what they didn't. They did not. The team like
Nothing impressive about you in the end.
Behold! Grievous misunderstanding.
Regardless of true aim.
Killing spree!
My, how you grow.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Precious bounty.
Killing spree! Ownage!
Fails me.
A prize.
Never refuse gold given.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Killing spree!
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Looking Benjamin.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Double damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Your loyalty will be rewarded.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Only in death is your true love real. Killing spree! Ownage!
Dead.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
The rune of illusion.
Even death can't find me now.
Precious bounty.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Double kill! Never refuse gold given.
Silence! Radiant structures are fortified.
Double damage!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
The flames rush forth. Wicked sick! Mega kill! Wicked sick!
Come to an end.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks have fallen. Dire's middle barracks have fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant victory.
Suicide to the tower. He wants a refill. Come back down bot. This is not a very good Undying lane, by the way. Grimstroke plus Pugna, 2 ranged heroes that aren't strength based. They hit pretty hard, both of them. There's a lot of turnaround potential. If you get too aggressive, you can always get caught by the Inkswell. So you spam out your decays, give your slug creeps, and then you suicide to the tower. Rinse and repeat.
Oh, we got the avalanche toss from Iceberg. I love tiny mid by this. It's gonna be really exciting. I think the panel's exactly right on that. FN's just gonna TP out, and it will be to base because he has his teleportation ability, of course. So we'll be back very shortly. That's the one benefit, of course. One of the many benefits of playing the Nature's Prophet there. General in the top lane, again, just trying to pull these lanes to his favor so he can get a little bit of experience because he's getting bullied pretty hard here. Aloha Dance forced to TP to help now. But Epileptic, 15 and 5 in the CS department versus, I guess, the Stuck on the other side, 16 and 3. So overall pretty even. Inkswell bottom lane, always want to fly. Soul Rip does heal him up a healthy amount and will live as a result. V-Tune? What in the butt? Okay, he lives. Very greedy though. Grimstroke misses his nuke there.
Crazy greedy. This lane bot gets really dangerous when Pugna reaches level 4 and Grim reaches level 4. I'm assuming they're both. I'm assuming they're both going to be skilling their second spell on level 4, so you can Decrepify into Phantom's Embrace on a target. It locks them in silence and disarm, so you can't break the Decrepify, and you can't break the bug, or whatever you want to call it, the wife of Grimstroke. Well, that's the lore. I didn't make it.
I have to check on that one.
Honestly, a pretty good advice for real life. If you're angry at someone, just throw your wife at them. It generally works. They'll be silenced pretty quickly by that.
Aloha Dance ended up getting a courier. We'll get a bounty rune as well. And we'll TP out. Very nicely done for him. In the meantime, Decrepify was used on Undying. Amplifies that damage coming out from save, and they're able to take another kill in this bot lane.
Silence or ink. He's thinking about it. I think both choices are good. It depends what kind of play they're looking for. The silence is really good against Slark though.
Yeah,
if you time it well, if he doesn't pact off the Decrep, then he's just stuck in this permanent silence basically. They can't really deal with. Yeah, they are gonna steal it.
Good.
And they've brought Oracle down. They're gonna try to overwhelm them here.
Well, we'll see how that works out for them. Dave has a lot of mana to work with now. We'll get the nuke off. V-Tune taunting away. By the way, I don't know if you know this, Sinner, but the Slark taunt, despite being one of the most popular taunts used in Dota 2 today, has the worst uptime of any taunt in the game. Very bad.
Maybe you should focus on playing the game better so you could rank up. I think focusing on taunts is a really good shortcut to dropping to Ancient.
You know,
it's not really what wins games.
It's funny that you say that because I don't taunt at all during the game. I always forget. As he's able to dark
well, then you're wasting your time even more. That's even worse. You're studying it and not using your knowledge for anything.
It's not knowledge, though. That is not knowledge. It's trivia. People like trivia questions, okay?
Right.
Now this tower is going to get pressured a little bit here from VPP. And Slark is going to dark pack that off. We'll pounce to safety.
Training his raindrops one at a time here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
3 charges left. General, I mean, he's kind of happy with this rotation, despite, I mean, Troll can kind of bully him a bit, but it's not nearly as bad as before, so he's able to get at least a little bit of experience now, or a good amount, I should say. And in fact, if you look at the CS, he's tied with Slark. So, that ain't good for Slark, that's for sure. Inkswell will connect onto Undying, as General is able to get a kill thanks to the rotation from Aloha Dance. We're just talking about how he can technically survive. Well, he can technically get a kill with a little bit of help. And DM just forcing everybody out of this lane. I mean, Pugna's got to be one of the most annoying heroes to deal with when he starts to get these levels. 3 levels in Nether Blast, of course, will not only push waves, take out the tower in quick succession as well. Man, look at the damage here. Always want to fly. Just taking it to the face. Only has 8 decay stacks.
I was just waiting for this. There has to be a moment for Nature's Prophet to get more involved now. He's going top on General. Has the stick charges. Not enough.
General will go down as a result. Actually had kind of a choice between the 2 lanes, but...
Yeah, I thought Furin might make the bottom move. Dive the Undying and get the tower. In my opinion, that's his next play on the map, is you push out mid, you get mana, and then you look to get down to business bottom before Slark hits 6, kill him off, get his tower, limit his space on the map.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think FN, compared to other Nature's Prophets mid, he's been rotating relatively little this game. I know it's only 8 minutes in, but other Nature's Prophets basically gank off cooldown. You know, every time teleport's ready, you just make a move. You can always put somebody else in this mid lane, like plant your Oracle there to get levels or whatever you want.
Ooh, they're going to attempt to gank him.
Farm intensive here in the lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing relatively well, but the Tiny is 67 and 14 in terms of
it's a really good lane
CS. Top of net worth right now. What in God's name is the build these days on a mid Tiny? We're going to see a little action here. Oracle brought down a half HP, but General will probably be forced out by Epileptic Kid.
Guess I'm thinking he's probably gonna go, so he'll go Mask of Madness first. I think that's pretty stable. Most Tinies will do this as core. You cast your spells, you mom, and you just run people down with your tree. Sometimes you could see a dagger, sometimes you see just hardcore damage with like crit. They're on the
Nature's Prophet. Yeah, he's gonna get rolled on here.
It's super toast.
Repeatedly, and will be brought down as a result. Do people still go the status resistance on Tiny? Like the S and Y into like Satanic later on, obviously a little bit of damage in between.
It's a possibility this game. I think status resistance is really good against the Dire lineup here. Against Pugna it's nice, against Grimstrip it's nice.
Oof. Has to Phantom's Embrace manually. Oracle in the meantime, the top lane probably will not be so lucky. The Mask of Madness being shown here. And the Avalanche is more than enough with that tree toss, so... Yeah, Iceberg is off to an absolutely incredible start. Epileptic Kid.
Oh, they're even showing the ward.
Able to take out this outpost. And that is a double outpost for VPP. So that's a good, clean amount of experience for them. By the way, did they fix... Oh, get back to that in just a moment. Undying will... Did they fix Royal Jelly? I saw a post about that not giving any regen. I don't know if that's actually the case. I didn't see any notes on fixes though.
It would be pretty surprising to me because Dota doesn't have bugs.
It's not in beta anymore. It's true. Well, Epileptic, Kid, DM, and Save are all grouping up in the bot lane. This is going to be a freebie for them, and I think they can, yeah, they can TP back to this tier 1 to defend against this grouping from Flytomoon. General does have Rolling Thunder available. FN has to be careful here. Does have the support of DM, of course. A lot of these treants just being taken out really fast by Iceberg. That tree is pretty freaking good at doing that. It's also pretty freaking good at taking towers with that siege damage. And he's just doing it all by his lonesome, so no defense whatsoever from VPP. Not feeling confident taking this fight at all.
Tiny is really strong right now. You got to be very cautious with how you approach this. Like the panel talked about, there's some easy targets for him. There's plenty of heroes he just blows up. Like 4 of these Radiant heroes, until Nature's Prophet starts bulking up, they're very susceptible to just getting comboed with one Swashbuckle or Fate Bolt on top. So being really careful there, and really nice from Flytomoon to identify that they can go for this push. It looks easier than it is to just call this, okay, let's just take mid tower, minute 10. You know, like what are they going to do? But they pulled it off. Tried it for the bot. And Slark is getting some good base now. Both carries really, at this point, will be... It'll be pretty peaceful for both of them, I think. Everybody else will be brawling a lot. Nature's Prophet wants to get involved. Pango wants to get involved. Tiny wants to make moves. Yeah. So there will be fighting. And Troll has a tendency of farming a little bit faster than Slark when he gets the Battle Fury. But until then, it's pretty even.
Yeah, we'll be going to Battle Fury. Tiny did pick up a Yasha, so it could be Y, could be Manta. What would you prefer this game? I mean, Manta would, it's not the most typical item, but if you need to take something off in terms of Dispel, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Always Want to Fly is going to get ganked. And nicely done here from VPP. In the top lane, it's going to be the counter gank. See this so often, just the mirror ganks, essentially. DM is completely alone. Oh, looks like he's going to be fine, though. Just walks into the trees. No more catch. So we'll
just run away. Yeah, there's a... Pugna, even with the move speed changes, is obviously still a super fast hero. So... 400 move speed with
Kid is taking out a nice ancient stack, by the way. Actually used his ult to take this out as fast as possible. So it's about
pinged out now. Like, wait, where are I?
Yeah, I think that was a triple stack, if I'm not mistaken. But about 1,000 away from finishing Battlefield for himself. Slark's still working on his defusal. But General pretty low on mana here. Still going for that same... But I love this, man. Maelstrom again, but into what? So first game he went... what did he go before Ags after Maelstrom? The second game he went Force Staff. Oh, he went Halberd, right? So he's kind of switched up that second item every game. So I'm expecting something completely random. Close his eyes and pick something, anything.
I'm trying to think about what the best one is here. He went the Halberd specifically against Troll. I'm wondering if he wants to do it again, or if he's like, okay, I can carry again. You know, it is a really good Pango game, except for the Grimstroke ult. So if they play their positioning well in the fights and don't get soulbound together with Slark, for example, you can do so much with an Axe in this game as well, I think. Let's see what the plan is. He's not queuing anything up yet.
How does Pugna Life Drain work in Grimstroke Soulbind? Do you know?
You just drain them both. And then, unless it's changed, the guy you don't target is the one whose life drain breaks. So, okay, this is a bit weird. Let's say you target two guys, and you target a close guy, and then the secondary autocast is on a guy far away. If he outranges your life drain, it cancels on both heroes, I think.
Oh, interesting.
But it's specifically, yeah, it's a bit weird. The dominant one or something is the far one.
The dominant
yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember testing it.
Pugna getting ganked here. General setting it up with the Rolling Thunder, and Iceberg will take it easy for himself.
General seems to just find multiple of these like really good locations every game. He knows the map super well on Pango. He always plays these tight corners. You can get double, triple, quad stuns on Rolling Thunder, and doesn't hesitate to go for it when he gets the opportunity. I can understand why they picked this hero with such a high rating.
Yeah. Oh, he wants to fly. Gets the tombstone on the cliff. He was trying to de-ward. I mean, I guess he did, but it'll be de-warded again. And we'll die as a result of that. So it was an SNY for Iceberg, and we're going AC now. So this is kind of like there was a build almost a year ago that kind of started. I can't remember how long ago they changed the tree throw, or that skill to be just a constant thing. But I've liked Tiny a lot more since then, for sure.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Taking a lot of damage. The toss will finish him off, but Iceberg is going to take the brunt of the pressure now as this has turned into a 3v1. Soulbind onto him alone. General has to be careful, does not want to run into him. Waits for it to run out. They're actually going to get a kill off the bat, so a 1-for-1. Epileptic Kid already used his ultimate, so will not find it. And Avalanche is going to help get yet another kill for Iceberg. So they turn this around a 1-for-3 in the end, despite losing the Rubik first.
He is so tanky on that Tiny. Troll absolutely needed to get a root with Battle Trance, but he didn't get one. I think he got 3 hits off, didn't get a root, and then Iceberg reset the position. General waited out the entire Soulbind, which doesn't last. I believe it's fully affected by status resistance, right? So that was 20% shorter on the Tiny with his SNY. General comes in, and it just becomes really easy for them.
How does it work if you're the secondary target? Best resist on a Soulbind.
Then I think it's full duration.
Here.
I'm actually not sure.
I have to test that one sometime.
I'm not completely sure if it even affects status resistance in general, but I'm pretty close to certain it does. But yeah, with secondary targets and stuff, good question.
Thank you, Synderin. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I just want positive feedback for my trivia / mechanic questions. Well, Flytomoon is going to take out a good part of the jungle here from VPP, who are not feeling too confident going up this cliff. And again, a lot of it has to do with not seeing where the Tiny is. Of course, he's not there at the moment, but does have the Hyperstone now, going towards that AC that we talked about. So mega farmed. Like, he is over 2,000 net worth over the Troll Warlord at this point. His general, bot lane, pops the haste. We'll be good to go. Could turn this back around, but has absolutely 0 teammates with him.
And this is a good drawing on the map from Iceberg. I mean, it's not... Like, the drawing itself isn't good, but the idea is good.
Mona Lisa, yeah.
Get them in on the top tower. You know the enemy team is in your jungle bot. You know you have the tower push available with Tiniest really faceted. You have very well set up top with a ward. Slark is in good position. He probably thinks twice about going to hit the mid tower because he's lacking information. If they had any ward in their own jungle bot, he would be going to hit this tier 2. But at the very least, they'll go for the top tower and keep pushing in mid. They want to make their own move. There is a smoke ready on the Rubik. Anytime they want to try for it, they could try to chase down there. Slark with a diffusal is ready. Yeah. Pango is queuing up the Ags. I don't know if you mentioned it. He's going to go straight Ags this time.
Oh, straight Ags this time. Wow-wee. What a pleasure this has been. Boy, oh boy. I feel like if you're... I mean, the good thing about that is it essentially ends up aligning with your level 15, right? Because a lot of times if you're going the mid-Pango build, that's your 3rd item at best. Sometimes it's your 4th, but that's like by the time you're level 20 or like 18, so you've had that 15 talent for quite a while, so that is the one benefit. So not going for any type of utility. Which, you know me, I'm a greedy boy, so I like it.
I know you're a sucker for the damage Pango build, but I mean, when it works for General, why would he change it, right? If it worked super well last game, he did tons of damage, had a huge impact on the game. At the rate this game is played out and how slow the towers are being taken, I don't know if he needs any value item right now. Like, there's no... It doesn't seem like they're under any pressure.
His value item's a clumsy net, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, he got that for free. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. A solid item. A little bit slower in casting than it used to be, but he'll live through the day. I think it's actually a bit overrated on Pango, but that's because I don't play Pango as a utility. So, Slark looking for FNC here. We'll start it off, but the TP out will be canceled. Does he have time to do another one? He's going to sprout up. Quelling Blade is there.
Sprout for vision.
B-Tune is actually stuck inside there. Wow. Oh, that was a... what the hell? That was a stolen Sprout. What in the world? Another Sprout comes in, but it looks like he will find the kill.
I mean, that ended up working out, but that Sprout from Aloha Dance was...
That was very sloppy. We're going to have a little bit of an engagement here. Save. Dying to the zombies. Looks like he will barely get out. And that'll break up this fight completely.
VP.Prodigy are just not the same team in 2 and 3 to every other game I've seen them play. I don't know if this last game broke them, if they got a little bit too creative, or if Flytomoon just really stepped it up, but they are just being crushed.
I mean, it's the Windrunner, right? You pick Windrunner, you just lose the series. Not even just that game. It's over. I mean, they can still come back and... I mean, that's the thing. They have the Grimstroke ult, which is very powerful, but like, how good is the double Wrath of Nature? Would you say that's even something to write home about? Like, what is their wombo combo potential with that Soulbind? It's obviously good against the Pangolier if you're able to set it up correctly, but is there a damage spell on top of that?
It's not great. It's really not great. You have, 2 Fury and ultis. I mean, 2 Purifying Flames, but do you really want to count that? I don't think so. Double Life Drain is nice.
This is where you got to buy Dagon, right?
I mean, Pugna should probably get that as an item this game. They need damage. I'm trying to think about what the primary thing that has changed in Prodigy's drafts has been that has really affected them. The best conclusion I'm coming to is that they're just not utilizing DM in the same way. When he had the Mars, he was really the playmaker, frontlining, having the stun, and then these previous 2 games he's been playing Pugna and Timbersaw respectively, which doesn't really have the same playmaking potential in the same way, at least, that they might be a bit used to playing around. So I don't know. I mean, they obviously couldn't get the Mars all 3 games,
would
but
you
this game, they could have, for example, picked an Axe.
Would you say that VTV games that we've cast before, that DM was on that same level that he was playing in the
he's in trouble. He's
Tango. Alright, it's gonna get saved there for the time being as the Soulbind does come out. They're gonna get a double silence, but it looks like DN might fall to... Oh, he's gonna get fully healed thanks to that Life Leech. General comes in, missing his ult completely though. And does this mean they need to fall back? The ult is popped by Troll Warlord, but he is all alone right now. He's completely isolated, but everybody on VPP is extremely low in the meantime. Pango will get out. No, he will die actually. So it's a 3-for-1. Pugna barely died there in that engagement. Is save. now attempting to get out of dodge. Epileptic Kid doing some more damage, and Iceberg is going to get surrounded here. It's going to be really close. They're going to trade lives, though. So it's a 4 for 3 with the buyback onto the Oracle. It's the Aegis, but he doesn't have a tree to equip quite yet, which doesn't really matter because he is disarmed anyway. Sprouted up now.
He's quelling in the backpack.
Yeah, that's
no, he didn't swap it in.
Very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. So he's stuck in there for quite a while, but Slark right now has a decent amount of agility still. He's going to take out Oracle. It looks like that is a dieback on that hero. They're going to help each other out, take off that silence. The tower just one hit away, and they will find it, and the Mask of Madness is popped. Can they stop this? They have Decrepify, they have Sprout. Of course, with that S and Y, it's going to be a little bit less in duration. Always want to fly. Really can't do much to help here, so they're going to be happy with that tower.
Mess. Like, what actually happened? So the way they initiated to begin with, like you said, the Pangold kind of hit nothing. They dove in behind the tower into a Pugna that was being full healed by the Oracle ulti, and they still end up barely winning the fight in the end. Just goes to show how far ahead they are. I think the saving grace in a way for Flytomoon there was that there was a flat out full duration tombstone that never got addressed, and it just kept building up. So they kind of end up stabilizing, and they in the end they do come out winners. They get the tier 3 tower, they force a buyback or two, they do gain a little more gold. So, but that was
imagine
by
a
no means
Bloodseeker
clean.
Cinder in these long engagements.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice, huh?
Tasty treat. Flytomoon's gonna smoke up. There's a defusal onto the Pugna. DM's in a lot of trouble. Has really no mana to speak of. Does Decrepify, but remember, Iceberg does both physical and magical damage, and they're gonna find him very easily.
And they got save as well.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Grimstroke. So Iceberg actually going deep into the base. He's going to get a toss off onto the Oracles at half HP. Look at that range. He can throw his tree, but he's silenced thanks to the Massive Madness. And False Promise is used on Oracle himself. That is not something you want to see. Although he did just die back previously, so he kind of does need to live. So now they know that ult is down. This should be a free Rax. I mean, Troll Warlord, where is he? Oh, he's back in the base. The Pango's not there. Question is, do they even need him? Slark getting healed up. Yeah, they're going to find that melee Rax, and it's essentially a freebie. If they can get perhaps an exit kill. No, they're not even going to try. So Flytomoon, it's their game to lose right now. They're in complete control of this game. I mean, something that you could do for VPP to try to combo with this Soulbind is get a Sheep Stick eventually as well, but it feels like it's just so far away from anything that really does
FN is very low farmed for a core Fury on this game. I'm not sure how comfortable he is playing this hero in general, but I just think the way that VP.Prodigy has played the map, there's 200 CS on Furion minute 26 when you're the mid Furion is not very much unless other than your team are taking a lot, but they aren't really. Pugna's 120, Troll has 200 as well, so probably hasn't been able to play the map as effectively as he wants, mainly out of fear for the Slark.
Shadow Blade. BKB is forced.
We'll get out.
That was the 10-second BKB, by the way.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Never feels good to have to do that, but like you said, he does need to catch up on farm. Yep, Avalanche. And the net. He has a follow.
Butterfly on Tiny. He is so tanky.
He actually did go to Butterfly, so it takes apart his Mask of Madness. Here comes the Pango. We're seeing the double life drain from DM. It's pretty good, actually. They're able to stay in range, so it's a 2-for-1 to start this fight, and that's Nature's Prophet wasn't even here to begin with. But they do lose the Grimstroke to follow now. An Epileptic Kid left to his own devices, completely surrounded, is pounced, and will be brought down eventually. And DM, the last remaining member of VP, looks like he will be surrounded by General and no stun to follow, so a nice little circle there. And they don't even have tier 1's bot yet, so they might just push this.
They did get the Tiny there, and that fight actually looked promising, but they had to commit absolutely everything to it, and Slark just kept building up. Eventually connected with the fight. So yeah, you kill this Tiny, but his effective physical HP right now is almost 10,000. Like, he has 3,200 health and 54 or 74% physical resist. So it's really only the spells that do anything to him. I think slightly different itemization from Iceberg could actually make him invincible. I don't think this Butterfly was needed at all. He already has attack speed from Quiras, Treads, as well as Sanjanyasha. So he could have bought a BKB, he could have bought, I don't know, Satanic instead of that, and probably just flat up into Invincible. So I'm not sure I like the butter that much here. Yeah, it's fine.
Satanic.
He has a buffer, a big buffer still.
Yep, I kind of agree. I mean, it feels like Butterfly for tiny builds like this is usually not something you get until like a 5th item, I want to say.
It can be really good in this slot. It's just, I don't think it solves the potential issues he has in the game, right? The only physical problem is Troll, and he's not strong enough. So you don't need to solve that.
Pugna is on the cliff, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but they get the double life drain still, and they're able to find 2 kills.
Wait, what the hell?
The range on that was
so
pretty impressive.
This game. What is going on?
They're just playing without their Tiny. Their Tiny is like their whole game right now.
Just cliff him into the double suck.
Oh, Epileptic. They still want to fight. The BKB is popped by V-Tune. Here comes the Pango with the Rolling Thunder. Iceberg getting off a couple right clicks. I think they're regretting this. This is a weird fight.
3 on 5 really under the enemy tower.
Yeah.
They're going to hunt them down. Their catch is limited. Furon could teleport and try to pincer them, but it doesn't look like they're confident enough to do it. Yeah, the other heroes are spawning now on Flytomoon, so it's by no means a safe teleport here.
Yeah, Roshan will know very shortly when he can spawn, and that'll probably be... I mean, if Flytomoon get that again, I think that is minimum a 2nd Rax, if not game. That's going to be very close.
You have to fight over.
How's the Roche fights, though? Yeah, how are the Roche fights this game for each respective team if they get caught off guard?
I always love Undying and Pango in that area, right? Like, any sort of zone control is really strong at the Roche pit. Tombstone's good, Pango's good. On the other side, you're way more reliant on finding a good attack angle. Like, it feels like if you just run at the enemy team, nobody really just does that, right? But imagine the 2 teams clash into each other. Like, the VP lineup has a lot of limitations with how they can actually catch someone and start the fight. So I think they need to try to pincer and flank and find especially the Rubik has been a really good kill for them. Get the Rubik and the Undying out of the picture as soon as possible and don't go on the course.
What are your thoughts on the Silver Edge, by the way?
My thoughts are somebody's about to die.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Hein might have to false promise himself again. Nope, he's going to get telekinesed into a swift death. Looks like everybody else should get out, though.
You're really happy with that if you're VP.Prodigy. That could have been the end of the game.
Sure.
You escaped fully, except for the position.
It still might be the end of the game.
Well, they've opened up the area now for Flytomoon, so now they can play map control up here and wait for the next Roche, which is spawning in now. Flytomoon will find out, or always want to fly for Flytomoon to find out.
There he goes. He sees it, and he walks away immediately. Silver Edge doesn't reduce regen anymore. It only did that for a month, of course, for those keeping track.
It does break Fervor, though, right?
Disable Fervor. Yeah. Fervor is pretty strong. How long did it break for, actually? I forgot. It's like 4 seconds. It's not even that long, actually. 4 seconds. Yep, that's what I thought.
Close enough. It lost 20%, right? So.
Yeah, everything lost 20%. That just wasn't in the patch notes. That was a typo.
Roche is dead. I think you put the cheese on Tiny. They actually give him the Aegis and the cheese to Slark. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. Considering the status resist, you have time to pop cheese.
Yeah, I feel like he has enough buffer to get cheese off on Tiny in any situation in this game right now. They don't have enough stuns to lock him down. But the counter argument here is by putting Aegis on Tiny, you have it on the guy who's going to siege high ground, right? So you get the safety when he wants to go and hit towers. Did we mention he got the Titan Sliver, by the way?
I think this is about to say that.
The best hero in the game to get this item. Yeah, absolutely crazy good on him. 16% base attack damage is a lot on Tiny. Indeed. Loves the magic and status line. This is the S tier item for this hero. This game is so
S plus tier, some would say. As Grimstroke is brought to the ground. And I mean, this is an 18k net worth lead for Flytomoon.
Dire's
Gonna be an ult here from Troll Warlord. He's gonna get Yulesed up. That's actually a buy on Pango after all that, but he gets decimated by Epileptic Kid and FN, who is here to join the party, who now has a Bloodthorn, by the way.
The guy initiating the move did not get back up, and the guy who got jumped had a Furion, so...
Yeah, it happens. But it might cost them a bit. Never mind. Yeah, no Basher.
There's a pretty good argument to be made for going Basher this game on Slark over Silver Edge. I don't know if the break has enough value compared to just having a Shadow Blade into Basher, because Basher is obviously awesome against Troll. It counters the Sheer and BKB TP out that he's fallen victim to 2 or 3 times now. So I would have liked to see a Basher over that.
Yep, I agree. I don't think Silver... I mean, I feel like the Fervor, taking off Fervor for 4 seconds, it's cool in theory, but I mean, in practice, have we really even seen that matter at all? It seems situational at best, considering, like, it's usually really good if you have at least 2 or 3 heroes that have a passive that you can...
Oh, Pugna. You don't want Pugna.
Soulbind is there, in addition to the ult from Oracle. Looks like they're going to find the Grimstroke right away. He buys back instantly, and this could be the final fight of the game, potentially. Epileptic Kid does a nice job of taking out the Tombstone. He's going to focus his right clicks onto Slark, who's just going to pop that ult. No mana to speak of whatsoever on poor Troll here.
40
now
stacks.
Getting surrounded very closely here. Yeah, 42 stacks. It's the 8 that ends up being a 50-stack agility if you can do the math, Cinder. An NA math for the win. Epileptic Kid gets off his ult. He's getting life drained. We'll keep him alive a little bit longer, but there is the life drain stolen from Aloha Dance, and GG comes out. I don't think VPP is very happy about this game. They got dumpstered.
Definitely think, in terms of overall strategy and comfort zone, there's something different in this game. Like I said, the primary difference between the draft and this game, to an extent, the previous one and